Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
ACMI Group is a catalyst for manufacturing innovation, focusing on scaling emerging technologies in hardware.
ACMI now putting down big roots in South Central Indiana, the economic impact for the region, and what it means for military manufacturing in the state. Jim Irsay's billion-dollar-plus collection of iconic music and culture hitting the auction block, what it could potentially sell for, and where the money will go.
We thought, man, would it be really cool to be the first team to put a QR-like code on a uniform.
Plus, the new high-tech Indiana connection to pushing video messaging to the next level. And new labeling on meats and the ripple effect it could have on Indiana ag businesses. Inside Indiana Business is next.
From Indiana's business news leader, this is IBJ Media's Inside Indiana Business with Gary Dick, presented by Elevate Ventures, Indiana University, and the Indiana Association of Realtors.
Play fake, looking to throw, going deep, searching for DJ Moore, over the shoulder, catch, made, touchdown Bears! It's over at Soldier Field! This is a
If the Bears wind up calling it quits at Soldier Field, Indiana's play to get the team to move across the border is coming into sharper focus this week. Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Kylie Valeta in for Gary Dick this week. There are major developments on the state potentially luring the Bears to Northwest Indiana. First, the Indiana House Ways and Means Committee gave the green light to Senate Bill 27, which establishes the Northwest Indiana Stadium Authority. The move paves the way for a deal to potentially be finalized. And if the Bears do make the jump across the border to Indiana, it looks like they'll land in Hammond. An amendment to Senate Bill 27 names that city as the site for a new stadium. The Bears have not made a final commitment to a potential move, but say the passage of the bill marks a big step forward in planning efforts for the project.
Hammond's ready to partner with the state of Indiana. Hammond's ready to partner with the Chicago Bears. Basically, Hammond will do whatever it takes to help make this project a success. Hammond is uniquely positioned for this moment. We're home to the Indianapolis Colts, a franchise that helped transform our capital city into a major league destination. Football is a part of who we are in Indiana, and this opportunity becomes a reality. Indiana will become one of the very few states in America with 2 National Football League franchises. Think about that. 2 NFL teams, Indianapolis and Hammond. Two global brands, 2 engines of economic growth, 2 sources of pride for Hoosiers. That puts Indiana in rare company.
On the Illinois side of the border, lawmakers there are trying to jumpstart plans to build a new stadium for the Bears in Arlington Heights. Stay connected with IBJ Media to get the latest developments regarding the Bears' potential move to Northwest Indiana. Shifting focus now to another big business story unfolding in Indiana. ACMI, a key player in advancing hardware and manufacturing technology in the United States, is putting a giant footprint down in South Central Indiana. ACMI is establishing one of the largest and first of its kind national security hub right next to Crane's Naval Surface Warfare Center in Bloomfield.
As we were looking for a place to build this project, Indiana was the top of the list, really, for its workforce readiness, its commitment to rebuilding U.S. defense, and for its logistics.
The National Security Industrial Hub is backed by a $75 million award from the U.S. Department of War. It's being designed to meet the military's growing production demands.
There's a shortage of solid rocket motors in the United States. Right now, there are 2 major producers of solids. But the demand is going up very, very quickly.
Prometheus Energetics is the campus anchor tenant and has committed up to $175 million for the project. The joint venture is focusing on building solid rocket motors that can be used for missile defense and offensive weapon capability.
We're actually going to be divided up into about 50 small buildings that's going to cover about 270,000 square foot of manufacturing space on the roof. But you want all of your processes separated because you're dealing with energetics. You're dealing with things that can blow up.
The project is expected to create thousands of high-paying jobs and catalyze an estimated $600 million in private investment.
The campus is oriented and designed in a way to support not only large existing defense corporations, but also smaller growing companies that this campus can accelerate growth by bringing prototype to production all in one place.
Right down!
Both Prometheus and ACMI tell us they searched nationwide for a site, and Indiana's business climate, location, and workforce stood out.
You have the schools producing the kind of students, engineers, scientists that we're going to need. You have outstanding trade schools and tech schools producing technicians. It's all the right things that a company like Prometheus needs to be able to do very well.
Crane has been a center for innovation for years and is lining up to play an even larger role in creating a major tech corridor, linking the South Central Indiana region to Indianapolis and beyond. Former Bloomington mayor and new leader at Amplify Bloomington, John Fernandez, on Crane's evolution and impact on the region.
The base has really evolved over the last, couple of decades. I mean, they're more outward looking. There's a lot more companies that are locating at Westgate, just outside the base. There's hardly a department at the university that doesn't have some relationship either with the Department of Defense, state, others. So that's a big opportunity that's only going to continue to grow.
Contco Inc., which manufactures ammunition containers for the U.S. military, has opened its expanded facility in Scottsburg. The Army says the company's products play a major role in helping ammunition survive the harshest conditions worldwide. Still ahead in our show, new rules for meat labeling and the impact on local Hoosier farmers, and the Irsay Collection goes up for auction. Clapton, Dylan, Prince, Garcia, you name it, and Jim Irsay probably owned a piece of that music history. We go behind the scenes to find out what's next for his eclectic musical collection.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers, as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
As we reported at the top of the show, state leaders are moving closer to finalizing plans to build a new stadium in Northwest Indiana, which could potentially become home to the Chicago Bears. This all comes at a time when the best college football players in the United States show off their skills here in Indianapolis at the NFL Combine. It's a big moneymaker for Central Indiana, some estimates putting it between $9 and $10 million. Indiana Sports Corp President Patrick Talty joins us today with a look at what the Combine and the other big events in the pipeline mean for Indianapolis. Patrick, thanks for coming to our studio today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Well, let's start with the Combine. As we said, a huge economic impact, $9 to $10 million, 30,000 visitors to the city. Obviously, Indianapolis wants to keep it here. So let's talk about the strategy to keep the Combine even beyond 2028.
Yeah, no, we've been working hard to keep that combine here because we think it belongs here. There's no better place for it here. And really, when the NFL made it a public-facing event, that's really when we went to work. And we made sure that we have a great fan experience, but we're also now thinking a lot about how do we make that player and the athlete experience great. We have all of the pieces in place, and I think we'll be able to continue to compete well because of our partnership with IU, with the Convention Center, with Lucas Oil Stadium, Visit Indy, the Colts, and us. We all come together, and we're able to put on a really great show for all the fans that come around the country for this.
Speaking of putting on a great show, Indianapolis has hosted about every major sporting event under the sun. Super Bowl, Final Fours, WNBA and NBA All-Star weekends. The one thing, NFL draft, we have not gotten that yet. Talk about the status of negotiations to get the NFL draft to Indianapolis.
Yeah, we think obviously the NFL draft would be perfect here in Indianapolis, and we're working hard to get invited to bid on the draft. We have our sights set on 2030 to get an invitation to bid on it. Why we have executives here for the Combine, we're actually going to be meeting with them and showing them what Indy is and what Indy is investing in themselves to make it a better city. I think that's one of the things that we've really talked to the NFL a lot about is Indianapolis is investing and we're changing and we're going to be different by 2030 than we are right now. And what other cities are doing those? And we think the draft is perfect here.
Right. So if Indianapolis does get the NFL draft down the road, paint a picture of what would that mean in Indiana in terms of exposure, economic impact for the region?
I mean, it's a big event and it is a big economic impact. You think of all the fans that came to Nashville and Detroit, it's hundreds of thousands of fans that will be spending money in central Indiana. But it is the opportunity for every 32 NFL teams to come here, and all their fans are going to be, they're 0-0. They're all excited. They all have the hope. And so they're going to be here celebrating in Indiana. And so what it really does is it showcases Indiana and how cool of a city we are, all the amenities that we have, all of the food scene that we are, and everything that's been invested in the last few years and coming up online. It really shows it off. And so we think that that's the type of event that changes people's perception. And it's also one of those events that people will go, hey, I think I want to come back to Indiana and I want to move and I want to start a business in Indiana.
All right. Patrick Talty with Indiana Sports Corp. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Iconic music, film, sports, and pop culture items from the Jim Irsay Collection are hitting the auction block next month. Gary Dick showcases some of the 400 items up for bid and how much they could sell for.
Collection is about telling history. Our history is so important. It teaches us where we've been, the great things we did, but also some of the things that we screwed up that we can change going forward.
In the grand scheme of things, to assemble something this large and this special in the relatively short amount of time that he did is really something.
World-renowned auction house Christie's is tuning up and preparing to sell dozens of iconic music and pop culture artifacts.
Jim kind of stands apart in terms of the breadth of his collection, the passion for his collection. He wasn't just buying at auction, he was buying directly from athletes, he was buying directly from musicians.
Kurt Cobain's 1966 Fender Mustang guitar, expected to fetch up to $5 million.
Up on Bluebird Hill.
While Jerry Garcia's custom Tiger guitar, used for his last performance with the Grateful Dead, could bring in $2 million.
I think Kurt Cobain, it's a generational moment. This is the generation that is really starting to enter the bidding universe.
This is the Black Strat, David Gilmour.
Last year, I got an inside look at the collection in Jim Irsay's office.
And when I touch you, I feel happy inside.
Christie's estimates this logo drumhead from the Ed Sullivan Show could go for $1 to $2 million. And On the Road, the original scroll by Jack Kerouac, is also on the auction block.
Mr. Irsay made this incredible custom case for it. It was absolutely a focal point of the office at the Colts complex. The scroll is remarkable. It's hundreds of feet long. It is on these two rollers at either ends.
$3 million.
She's looking down at me and I'm on the phone with Mr. Irsay and I said, I think we got it, brother. The other guy, is capping out. And she looks down and she says, for $3.3 million here, Christie's, this is your moment.
This is your moment. Sold. So.
The items will be sold over 4 auctions from March 3rd through the 17th. A portion of the proceeds will be donated to philanthropic causes Jim Irsay supports.
I will let you down. I will make you hurt.
More objects from Irsay's collection related to American history will be auctioned off in July. IBJ's Dave Lindquist has more on the upcoming auction, including the estimated value of the Hall of Fame collection in this weekend's IBJ. Ahead for you, farmers weighing in on the state of the economy and game-changing Indiana innovation bottled up in a tiny barcode. How Spoke Note's newest technology is transforming how we share videos on a much larger scale.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
The challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
fast.
businesses need help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions.
They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete.
You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here. And they're crushing our loan business, too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that, too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good? No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.
If you bring your kid to the very first game, you can actually come to the guest services area and get a pen. You can put a video on that pen from the game.
Fishers-based Spoke Note technology changing the game, not only in the NBA with its barcode on Pacers jerseys, but now on a much larger scale. The company's new product is called Dynamic Video. It allows users to create and share personalized videos on a larger scale. An organization can send customized messages to different groups while keeping other aspects of the video the same for all recipients. The Indy Ignite volleyball team, Indianapolis-based Make My Move, and a California nonprofit are all using the technology.
You make the components and then we will build it on the fly based on what we know the target wants to hear about. To me, that's the tectonic shift in communication. And that's why, when we're coming out with this, we are pitching this as a fundamental shift in the way you communicate with people, not an extra feature or another product.
Spoke Note says it has multiple patent applications pending on the dynamic video technology. A rise in financial pressures and export concerns are affecting farmers in Indiana and across the country. The latest Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer fell 23 points. Purdue says more producers reported tighter cash flow and increased operating loan needs. New meat labeling requirements are helping consumers no longer be duped at the grocery store and could send more business to Hoosier farmers. Family-owned Tyner Pond Farm in Greenfield is just one meat producer applauding the new USDA rules, which change what Made in the USA labels really mean. Under the old system, U.S. labels could be used even if beef was only grinded or repackaged in the U.S., but raised and slaughtered overseas, which is a very common practice. The new label rules require require that product of USA and made in the USA labels only be used on meat and poultry if the animals were born, raised, slaughtered, and processed entirely in the U.S. Now, this is especially important for grass-fed beef because more than 85% of what's sold in the U.S. is imported.
And that importation has a lot of compromises in its nutrition. But once that American label comes off of all of these products that they're buying, now they can be a little more aware and say, wow, I really want this profile in my nutrition, and they will turn to, hopefully, Indiana farmers.
Now, nutrients in meat decrease over time, so importing time lowers the nutritional value. And Baggett says the closer to home you get your food, the more nutritious it is. And he adds Hoosiers can avoid label confusion altogether by buying direct from a local farmer. Ambulances typically don't carry units of blood on board, but a new program in Plainfield is changing that. Blood loss is one of the leading causes of preventable death in trauma and cardiac-related emergencies, but patients typically can't receive blood until they reach the hospital. The Plainfield Fire Territory launched its new pre-hospital blood transfusion program earlier this month, meaning rescue vehicles are now stocked with blood and paramedics can administer it at the scene. And just one day after it launched, paramedics used the blood to help save the life of a trauma patient. Plainfield is the 12th agency in Indiana to have a blood transfusion program. Up next, why Hendricks County is keeping it real. And setting the table for what's trending this year in Indiana's food and drink scene. Sourdough bread is one of the biggest hits. More in this month's Trendiana Report.
Whether you're buying or selling a home, the stakes are high. Realtors are market experts who do business by a higher code of ethics, and we're invested in Indiana because we're also your neighbors. Now here's the latest statewide real estate report.
In 2025, the number of homes for sale across Indiana hit a 6-year high, with new listings jumping nearly 10% in the last 2 years. Homes also stayed on the market about 4 days longer than 2024, 2 weeks longer than back in 2021. Buyers have more options and more time to find the right home heading into 2026. But patience is paying off for home sellers as Indiana property values continue to climb. Indiana is still one of the most affordable states for home ownership. The mortgage payment on a typical recent home purchase equals about 34% of our median monthly household income.
Serving Indiana means being ready for growing energy demands. At Duke Energy, we're adding more power to the grid and working on hundreds of local projects to make your energy more reliable. We've strengthened nearly 20,000 poles, updated more than 270 substations, and prevented hundreds of thousands of outage hours with self-healing grid technology, so your power can come back on faster than ever. That's the smarter energy future Indiana deserves.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress. From the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, investing connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures.
We are bringing the power of this to this with a new IBJ Media app. For the first time ever, you'll be able to get the Indiana Lawyer, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indianapolis Business Journal all in one place wherever you go. All across the state of Indiana, IBJ Media provides the news you need to know, and we're doing it now directly to your phone. To be a part of this, you can find it on your favorite app store. Just search IBJ Media.
Hendricks County leaning into characteristics like authenticity and down-to-earth as the backbone of a new tourism brand. Visit Hendricks County for Real is the name of the new campaign. The organization says it didn't want to reinvent itself, but rather focus on what makes it distinctive. Visit Hendricks County believes having an identified brand is important to help make tourism an economic driver for the county.
It will help us attract visitors who align with who we are. And it'll support local businesses by allowing us to tell a cohesive story. It will mean that we can have those consistent values that emerge. So everyone is telling the same things to the same audiences.
More than 40 restaurants are participating in Hendricks County Flavor Fest. Each one is showcasing a new menu item through March 17th. More now on what's hot on Hoosier restaurant menus in this month's Trendiana. Yelp's Brittany Smith shares some of the most popular food and drink trends and where you can try them across Indiana.
Get ready to taste what's trending in 2026. We've tapped into Yelp's data and search trends to find the top food and drink trends for the year ahead. And we're kicking things off right here at Leviathan in the heart of downtown Indy, just a stone's throw from Mass Ave and the Monon Trail, because this spot is one of the best places for sourdough, which trends are on the rise from sourdough bagels to croissants to bread and more. Then I'm with Jesse, the owner of Leviathan. Jesse, can you tell us a little bit about the sourdough process here at Leviathan? How does it all work?
I can, yeah. So we make all of our own sourdough bread here. We have about 5 to 6 different varieties that we do every day. Our sourdough is a very traditional style, meaning that we have a starter or a mother, as some call it, that we take care of and we feed. And that goes into the bread, which gives it its sourdough characteristic.
Yeah, I love that. Can you walk us through, obviously cutting one of these beautiful loaves here?
Yeah.
What types of items can you find on the menu that have the sourdough in them?
All of our sandwiches do. They're all served on different variations of our sourdough. We have some that are on baguette, some that are on marble rye, some that are on country. Obviously the bread, you can come in every day and we have fresh baked bread, that you can grab and take home with you. We also sell toast.
Yes.
It's a little secret menu
Delicious.
item.
I love having this right here in my neighborhood. Can you walk us through some of your top selling other items?
Yeah. I would say number one would be our breakfast sandwich. We have more people come here for that than just about anything else. Quiche is great. We have jambon beurre. That's one of my favorites.
Yes.
It's a baguette with ham, butter, and salt. It's simple, but it's very, very good. We have biscuits and gravy. That's very popular
Classic
as well.
comfort
Got to have that
Yeah.
here in the Midwest. And then we have a full selection of pastries and desserts as well.
You're making all of your nut paste from scratch. Can you talk to all those things that you're making from scratch that folks may not realize?
Yeah, we do all, like I said, all of our nut paste. That goes into a lot of our pastries and a lot of our coffees as well.
Yeah.
My favorite one, the honey pistachio.
This is such a great spot. You're having
Thank
a
you.
meeting. It's very kid friendly. You're right off the Monon.
The outside's going to have a fairly hearty crust on it. Don't let that deter you. The inside is very soft.
Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful.
So that's there.
Look at those holy goodness.
It looks like
Delicious. Well, thank you so much, Jesse.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in.
This was great.
It's been a pleasure.
If you're looking for more taste of the food and drink trends of 2026, you can go to Mama Ina's Mexican Bakery in Lafayette, where we're seeing trends of searches for Mexican bakeries on the rise. Next up, you can go to Taj Mahal Indian Cuisine in Evansville and Spice Club Indian Bistro in Brownsburg, as we're seeing searches for biryani chicken on the rise by over 49% year over year. And last but not least, Forteza Coffee in Fort Wayne is known for their great matcha variations, as folks get more and more creative with matcha as searches continue to rise. Whether you're craving something new or want to revisit a classic, these trends have something for every taste bud. Now you can find them throughout the state of Indiana.
All right, some great ways to support Hoosier businesses there from Yelp's Brittany Smith. That's all for this edition of Inside Indiana Business. I'm Kylie Valeta in for Gary Dick. Have a great week.
Challenges are real.
Type 2 diabetes rising
Small
faster
businesses
among
need
people.
help.
Alzheimer's cases rising as population.
Solutions. They said it'll never happen.
It's too hard. Nothing will change.
Can't compete. You'll never solve it.
And we said, watch us.
Richards, get in the game. We're getting pickled here. And they're crushing our loan business too.
But this Lake City Bank team seems nice. They offer small business loans from your phone.
We have that too.
You can even speak to a real live banker.
You guys good? No one needs to talk to a person anymore.
I like people.
Nice game. Come by the branch anytime.
They have branches?
Friendly business loans. Apply online with SwiftLend or visit real human bankers at your local branch.
Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick, coming to you this week from Northwest Indiana, Jeffersonville, Muncie, South Bend, in downtown Evansville, Terre Haute, Fort Wayne, Richmond, from one of the state's key entrepreneurial and innovation hubs, 16 Tech. Inside Indiana Business, Indiana's business news leader.
Do you want the real scoop on what's happening in Indiana business? Check out the IBJ podcast. I'm Mason King, and each week I sit down with people who make news in Indiana to get insights and perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. It's business, but you won't need an MBA. The guests run the gamut from CEOs, developers, and sports executives to artists and chefs and financial planners. If there's a theme, it's that everything has a cost. And success often depends on how you define profit and loss. So if you want to deepen your understanding of the people and projects shaping Indiana, give the IBJ podcast a try. You can find it at ibjpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you want to know what really drives change in Indiana? You won't find it in sound bites. You'll find it in stories. Stories from CEOs, lawyers, coaches, entrepreneurs, and community advocates. That's the IBJ Media Podcast Network. Insightful, local, impactful. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcast.com.